Hey there, world, and welcome back for another episode of Choppin' It Up. If you are new to this podcast, make sure to listen to our previous episodes on the podcast channel at choppodcast.podbean.com and follow Chop Podcast on Instagram. Again, that's one word, Chop Podcast on Instagram, for everything related to Choppin' It Up. I'm your host, Frankie, and I am joined once again by Jeffrey Steiner. Jeff, what else do we have on tap for today?
Well, today we're going to announce the Chop Move of the Week winner, number 2, bring in some World Cup talk, and we're going to go back around the world with myself for your next travel trip.
I'm excited for that.
Giddy up!
Hello, listeners, and we'd like to thank you for joining us again for episode 4 of Choppin' It Up. And we're going to hop right into it with Off the Cuff. And Jeff, do you want to lead us off today?
Yeah. You know, I was struggling to think about what I was going to talk about in today's Off the Cuff. And it really kind of was embodied by what I did today. So I guess things have been good. I left my job. I have a lot of free time now. I don't really have much to complain about. And then I came to the realization that it's really frustrating at how easy it is to just be lazy when it's hot out in the summer. You know, I was trying to, make some good use of my time, not waste it.
Right, you see this beautiful weather, and it might be a little hot, but you're like, I want to go outside. I want to enjoy this weather.
Exactly, and I was tempted to go outside. I step outside. It's like 85% humidity. I step back inside.
That's not good for someone with long hair like you.
It's hot. It's like wearing a blanket.
Yeah, that's.
But I got some studying done, and so I felt good about that. And then I said, okay, well, I'll set that aside. I'll do something else. I'll be productive. And you know what I did? I just sat around the house for about 4 hours.
Doing what?
Just wasting life. And I think I'm not the only person who does this.
Were you pulling one of those sit on the futon, stare into outer space for about 30 minutes?
College was wild. Yeah, I did that for a little while. Yeah, I lost some time on the phone. I started browsing the Instagram Explore page, and that's dangerous territory.
What were you finding on there?
Honestly, it's my source for NBA news.
Okay.
And once you still go down that rabbit hole, like trade rumors and all that,
and then you get to the mixtapes.
I get lost in it. Yeah, and so I think that's a problem that a lot of people have. Hopefully not just myself. Hopefully there's some other wackos out there that are just wasting their time like this.
The Explore page is that's great stuff on there. But you really can find yourself
It's like
down
Twitter.
a rabbit
Twitter
hole.
can be dangerous too.
I think Twitter is more dangerous. That's why I know that you know this. Not many people know this. I do not have Twitter on my phone because it's just too much of a distraction.
Yeah.
You go on that app and you're on there for, next thing you know, you look down, you've been on it for an hour and you get nothing accomplished.
And that's the big thing. I think the phones, I talked about it, I think last episode, it doesn't help. It's summertime. Get outside, enjoy the weather. Don't be like me and get in lazy days.
Yeah, sometimes you need those lazy days though to kind of, recoup. Get back after it the next day.
Yeah.
Have a little bit of energy.
Just don't string them together.
Yeah, just not too many in a row. And so I have actually 2 off the cuffs this week. One is short, and the other is a little longer.
All right. Well, we've never had 2 from one person before.
Yeah, I know.
But I guess we're winging it today.
This is dangerous territory.
Okay, go ahead.
So the first one, I'll make this one quick. People say the English language is very difficult. And this is a perfect example of why. So the word subpar or below par, this is a big pet peeve of mine. I'm someone who plays golf a lot. And in golf, the game of golf, a par is a good thing. A par is even. If you get subpar or below par, that's great. You're under par. That's where you want to be, right?
Yeah, you're doing well.
But what does subpar or below par mean when you're not on the golf course, Jeff?
Typically, it means bad. You're not getting it done.
It means bad. right? And so if you're trying to learn the English language and you hear the word subpar, what do you think? I don't even know what to think. I mean, it's unbelievable that we could get a simple word like par mixed up this badly.
Well, I guess judging by the misuse, you're definitely not the only person confused by it. It's terrible, and I don't think it's something that's brought to the attention enough of people. If you ask people about this, none of them will really have any idea what I'm talking about right now until I break it down for them. And it's just something I would like to see changed. I don't know how or. So if you're listening to Frankie's rant and it really resonates with you, next time you hear one of your friends say subpar referring to something bad, call them out on it.
Just say bad. Just say bad instead of subpar because we want to.
Or mediocre.
Maybe. Mediocre is a great word. Substitute. Or average, maybe. Or no, that'd be below average. But see, below average, that's a different story for a different day. Okay, so we'll go to the second one, which is this is a kind of a bigger one for me, and this is something I've always thought, but this World Cup it's really bringing it out in me is how much I hate when announcers refuse to acknowledge when either the players have done something stupid or dumb, or that the refs just stink, and the refs have blown calls that have a direct impact on the game, or if the refs miss a call. I mean, too often you have these announcers who they watch this play where a guy clearly gets taken out in a crucial part of the game, and the announcers want to say oh, this guy should have been stronger with the ball, or that's a tough turnover to take there, or this is for any sport, and how about you just say the dude got raked across the arm or he got absolutely cleated in the kneecap? Yeah, it's kind of hard to keep playing and do your job when that's happening. And these announcers watch these plays, and I'm sure, they're told by their boss, you don't hate on the referees because it's a bad look for our company. If you're criticizing the referees, but I mean, it's just terrible. Everyone kind of laughs at Charles Barkley because he just says it how it is. But we need more people like Charles Barkley that just say the truth. And I just hate these announcers that, I mean, it's embarrassing for them.
Yeah,
I feel
you want
bad
it to be
for
genuine.
Them. Yeah, you want it to be genuine. I mean, I watched a play in the World Cup last weekend with Luis Suarez. He goes down holding his head for 5 minutes, and the announcers are watching this play where the defender heads him in the back. He's not even close to his head. And he's on the ground for 5 minutes grabbing his head, and the announcers, not once do they say, I don't really see where he made contact with his head.
They just say, oh, he's down.
They just say, oh, Luis Suarez is down, and the medics are out on the field, and that could have been a foul. No reference to the fact that he's grabbing his head, and no one was anywhere close to his head. I mean, I just want my announcers to be more observant. That's all. I know I just went on 2 rants right there.
That's okay. I mean, if you're feeling passionate about it, we want that.
I feel like those were 2 perfect things for off the cuff.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's kind of a joke, really. It's like they're just blatantly ignoring what's right in front of their eyes. My favorite thing is when, and this happens a lot in basketball, I know it happens sometimes in football and other sports too, is when they go to the instant replay and they bring the instant replay clip up and, for example, maybe the ball glanced off of somebody and went out of bounds, and the referees called it to the wrong team. And they say, and you can clearly see where it hits the guy's hip and redirects or something like that. And the announcers say, well, I don't know. Call could go either way.
Yeah, it could go either way here.
Who are you catering to here, man?
I think it's just their boss. I think they're just trying not to lose their job, trying not to get fined.
I don't blame them for that, but come on.
Pulling a Marshawn Lynch.
Professional integrity.
You hate to see it. But so, Jeff, let's hear about our Chop Move of the Week. We had basically a Hall of Famer start us off last week with that Chop Move. And so what do we have this week? Who's winning Chop Move of the Week?
Well, we had even more submissions this time around, which is good. We want an involved community. We want to hear your Chop Moves because they crack us up.
Yeah, we like to hear from our fans, even if it's all 20 of you. We really like to hear from you.
That's true. And it's just nice to see the participation. So this winner of Chop Move of the Week, the Chop of the Week, goes to Instagram user P_Lewis01. That's Pat Lewis. And his chop of the move of the week is he's on a flight sitting next to a gentleman, Frankie. And this gentleman has his laptop, and his arm is halfway into Pat's lap, and he's constantly just elbowing him, which we won't even get into airplane etiquette.
Oh,
That's
everyone knows the
story.
rules there.
So on top of it, the guy is totally against using tissues. So he decides to pick his nose, and this is just a weird move. He puts the boogers on the back of his hand to save. Instead of like wiping them on the seat or something like that, or just use a tissue, puts it on the back of his hand, and then later on during the flight, picks the boogers off of his hand, starts rolling them into little balls, and tosses them on the ground at Pat's feet. Chop move while flying? That's nasty.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in this chop move. I just want our listeners to know that this is the first time I'm hearing of this, and so the way we have this set up is Jeff pretty much controls the Instagram page, and so he'll read these submissions to me, and so this is the first time I'm hearing of this move. So it's pretty natural reactions.
I'm now accepting bribes for everyone out there.
Yeah.
Feel free to Venmo me.
But so there is a lot going on here. So let's discuss this. First, airplane etiquette. Everyone knows the rules here.
You're on a long flight.
What does the middle person get?
Well, they get 2 armrests.
They get 2 armrests. What's the window seat get?
Window seats, I mean, it's self-explanatory.
Self-explanatory.
You get 1 armrest and the window to lean up against or look out.
And what's the end of the row get?
Gets 1 armrest and a little bit of extra leg. Everyone knows airplane etiquette. You cannot screw up. Nobody wants to be there. And it's
cringeworthy. It's really cringeworthy when people don't follow.
So then on top of this, you add a guy picking his nose, flicking boogers at you. What do you do in that situation?
Okay, so
Pat held his composure.
There's 2 things here. The first thing I'll say will not be controversial. The second I think might catch you by surprise a little bit. The first, obviously, I mean, use a tissue, dude. Don't, in public like this, don't blow your nose. Or not blow your nose, but don't tend to the situation until you have something to take care of the situation, unless it's very urgent. Which maybe it was urgent. Which leads me to my second point. I don't hate the play.
Oh my god!
I don't hate the play of putting it on your hand. I mean, you're gonna wash your hands anyways. It's already touching your body.
You're just gonna.
But I'm saying, it's like a booger. You're just gonna take your booger and wipe it on the seat?
That's
you're
just gonna have a handful of mucus mounds chilling there. Dude, are you nuts?
I'm sure they were smaller. I'm sure. I don't hate the move. You put it on your hand until you get a napkin. You go wash your hands, and everything's good. Now the second part.
Rolling it into
balls to throw on the ground. That's maybe something you do like when you forget that you had the booger on your hand in the cab ride to your hotel after the plane. That's something you do then. I don't think you do it on the plane in front of the person and right at their foot that you were flying next to. I think that is definitely the chop move there.
Yeah, so
multiple chop moves in one here, but I think that's the biggest chop move.
So we don't know this guy's name. The guy that committed the chop move, but good on you, Pat, for reporting a chop sighting. Chop sightings in the wild are rare, and we appreciate so we can tag and bag all of these specimens that we hear your stories. So we appreciate that, and I think after the chop move, because I'm pretty grossed out by that, we should move into our next segment, Spielberg Sound System.
This is a regular for us. We're going from Rolling Stone Top 100 Songs this week.
And in case you haven't listened before, I might as well give them the breakdown, right? Spielberg Sound System is a segment in which we take, in this case, Rolling Stone's Top 100 Songs playlist on Spotify, and we take the first line of the song, and we create a blockbuster film plot based on just one line of the song. Not much material to work with. It's a lot of creative input, and it's a lot of fun for us. So what do we have for today, Frankie?
So today we have Crazy by Gnarls Barkley. Great name, by the way. Not Charles Barkley. We got Gnarls Barkley.
Is that his real name? I've always wondered that.
I think
or is it a stage name?
Probably a stage name, but it sounds real. Real enough.
Good enough.
And the first line of Crazy is I Remember When. And Jeff, how about you lead us off today?
I remember when. Okay. I'm thinking, when I hear this, you know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about how there's always an old person, whether it's someone in your family or like a family friend, and you bring up a subject and they say, "Well, I remember when I was a kid back in the day when I was a kid, back in the 1880s when we had to pump water from a well and walk 30 miles in by 7 a.m." And that's what I think of. But that's not exciting enough for a movie. I think in this case, we have like a grandpa that's maybe not really very close with the family, but he just kind of shows up. The kids don't know him. He shows up at a family holiday, and the kids are asking him questions, and he says, "I remember when I was your age." And then he goes on to, he's the narrator of this adventure, and it's like. It's nuts. Like, no way realistic, but the kids are young, so they totally believe it. And it's like an acid trip. Like,
okay, we're going that route.
I don't know.
And so the
like
kids are living
crazy.
So are the kids the actors now, and they're living the life that their
I'm
grandfather
kind of
did?
like as I'm imagining this, I'm thinking of like the Magic School Bus. You know how they always like transform. First of all, that teacher was definitely on acid. Let's just get that out of the way.
Definitely.
Like, that was nuts. But I'm picturing something like that. Kids are transported into the story, and I guess it's a kids movie. Yeah,
okay.
Kids movie this week. And they're just reliving, they're fighting a dragon or something like that, or going into outer space, and it's I guess this isn't very deep. Not one of my better ones, but hey, I remember when
that's not a
Grandpa's
bad
acid
start.
trip.
I'm actually going to kind of piggyback off of that a little bit, and mine is going to be, probably a group of guys, maybe in their 40s, 50s. One of them has a nice little crib, and so he has a little barbecue where he invites, all of his friends from, childhood, and he has a hot tub, and it's kind of a knockoff to Hot Tub Time Machine.
Ah, all right.
And so the guys are sitting in the hot tub, enjoying a few cold ones, and it starts off like you said. I remember when, and they each have their own little story of when they were all together, growing up through their childhood, whether it was in elementary school, high school, maybe something in college, and so each one they flash back. They go in this time machine, so that's how it's the knockoff to the hot tub.
What's the time machine in this case? Is it the hot tub, or are we something different?
We'll use the hot tub. Might be copyrighted or something, but we're going to use the hot tub again.
Hot Tub Time Machine. How many have been made? Is this Hot Tub Time Machine 3?
Yeah, let's say 3. I feel like there's 2 already.
I think
made.
There's 2. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna say 3. So each one is gonna be them going back as actors in their own film, remembering when they did these, whatever they did, and they're time traveling.
All right, I dig that. Actually. It's hey, knockoffs, sequels sell. That's why there's always about 85 of them.
They don't sell great, but they sell.
They sell enough. That's why I love Star Wars. But let's be honest. Let's get some new content. I love the anthology films coming out, and I know you're not a big Star Wars guy, so I'll get off of it.
I've never seen Star Wars.
But today we're going to introduce a new segment. Frankie, this is your time to shine. We're calling this one Frankie's Food Review, and so. What I decided to do today is I thought of all the people out there that are trying to get out and enjoy the summer. I know the weather's been hot, at least here in New England, but get out and enjoy the sun, get together with friends, and maybe grab a bite to eat. And, it's always a difficult decision. Where are you going to go to eat? What's expensive? What's cheap? And so...
coming from someone I pretty much eat out every single night of the week, I think I have a good understanding of the restaurants in southeastern Connecticut.
Yep. So
we're gonna do a little food review.
We're gonna do a food review. So I picked a restaurant at random. Basically, I made a list of chain restaurants and local restaurants in southeastern Connecticut, and I'm picking one at random for Frankie to give a review for. And today we're gonna do Moe's.
Oh, Moe's.
Yeah,
okay.
Moe's. I think it's Moe's Mexican Grill is the official name. So let's see what you got, Frankie. Give us the food review.
Well, first, welcome to Moe's. That's something that
welcome to Moe's.
That's something that you should expect as you walk in the door. That's their natural greeting for you. When you get in there, how do I want to? I don't know how I want to outline this. How I want to detail this. I'm a regular at Moe's. I probably go there once a week.
You got to be there for Mo Monday.
Yeah, so Mo Mondays, that's a big one. That's the burritos or the bowls. Those are $5.99. It's kind of bad that I know the price.
Hey, it's part of the review. I like that.
So Mo Mondays, that's a good one. That's burritos. Tuesdays, Taco Tuesdays. You get 2 tacos and a drink for $6.59.
I did not know that they had Taco Tuesdays. This is news to me.
So they have Taco Tuesdays. They have a Wednesday night, I think, is the special for kids, like a children's meal on Wednesday nights. And that's usually all I got. I usually go Mondays or Tuesdays when I'm at work. I usually hit up one of those deals. And I usually go with the bowl. I usually go the normal seasoned rice. I go no beans, not a big bean guy. I like chicken or the steak if you're feeling, you want to drop a little more cash. I go with the steak. A little cheese, a little lettuce. I'm kind of a plain guy. I don't really like a lot of... I'm a little picky in terms of what I like to eat. I do eat out a lot, but I know what's good. I don't love exploring different foods that often.
Okay.
When I'm eating out. But yeah, I usually go rice, chicken, cheese, lettuce, some corn salsa, and then...
No guacamole?
The guac... I'm not a big guac guy. I'll eat it, but I don't love it.
Okay.
I only really like it with chips, which leads me to the last part of the Moe's review, which is they give you a nice handful of warm baked chips, and if you finish those, you actually get free unlimited refills. Which
are you
which
serious?
is a plus.
I finish them every time, and I've never gone up for the refill.
So the refills is a plus, and they have a variety of salsas to choose from. I usually would go with the medium salsa, which had a little kick to it, but not bad. But recently, I've been going with this new guacamole cucumber salsa.
Any spice to that, or
not really spicy? Kind of just a guacamole base. Really good stuff.
Nice.
Very very smooth, light, kind of refreshing. After you eat all that protein.
Okay.
And so that's really all I got for Moe's.
And so my next question, Frankie, that's the review of Moe's. If you were to own and open your own franchise of Moe's, you can add one food item to the menu. What would you add? Moe's Mexican Grill. I think it might be Chipotle Mexican Grill. I might be mixing.
No. I don't think Chipotle is separate.
No, I know. I think I'm combining the names. Moe's. Anyway, Moe's. What food item are you adding to the menu in your Moe's franchise?
Let's see. They got quesadillas. They already have burritos. They already have tacos. They got those crunch things. I don't even know what those are called.
The tortilla bowls.
They have the tortilla bowls, and they have the Taco Bell's version of the Gordita Crunch.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Let's go with some fajitas.
They don't sell fajitas.
I don't think they sell the formal big fajitas.
But you sell fajitas.
But I would sell fajitas, if you're really trying to, splurge, you'd go with the big order of fajitas.
Wonderful. All right. Well, I know exactly which franchise I'd be going to. Frankie's Food Review. Frankie's Moe's restaurant serves fajitas. Sounds wonderful.
And that was kind of fun. I love talking about food. I could talk about it for hours.
Maybe we'll do it again sometime, Frank.
And Jeff, this next segment, which will come after the break, is brought to you by Geo Safari Products, an educational toy company that markets electronic learning aids, including the Geo Safari Globe. And let me tell you, folks, the people at Geo Safari were nice enough to send us one of these globes, and it is phenomenal. It's color-coded, it's easy to use, and especially it's easy to see for people with bad eyes like myself. This is the best thing that we could ask for to help Mr. Steiner take us around the world. All right, Jeff, and where are we going today? Let's find out.
Around the world, I'm going to plan your travel itinerary, 4 days, 3 nights, Frankie. I'm going to spin the globe. If you would close your eyes, please. Globe. I didn't even get the chance to say globe is spinning. Hang on. Take two. Globe is spinning. Frankie, where are we ending up? And it looks like we are going to Angola. Angola in Africa.
Southern Africa.
Okay. I know nothing about Angola, but let's give it a roll.
Capital is Luanda.
Luanda. Yeah. Let's see. While we're in Angola, so we're going to take a 4-day, 3-night trip in Angola, southwestern Africa, just below the DRC, Democratic Republic of the Congo. Dangerous place. Hopefully Angola less dangerous. I'm going to guess that it is because Angola just sounds like a nice place to go. So first day, I'm thinking we're flying into the capital city of Luanda. I don't know if you can get an international flight.
It's a coastal town.
It's a coastal town. You think you can get an international flight there, or do you need to fly into one of the surrounding? Either way, we're assuming you're flying into Luanda.
You can probably get an international flight there.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. So to start off, we're going to go to the southern portion of Angola, and we're going to take a view at the Tundavala Gap. It is it's a natural formation, rock formation along the cliffs of the Serra da Leyva escarpment. God, that's hard to say. And it marks the end of the Baye Plateau, which divides Angola. So first day, we flew in. We took a road trip down to the southern portion of Angola. We're going to work from south to north.
I like that.
The capital of Luanda is in the northwestern portion of the country. South to north, and then we're going to fly out on the last day. You know, it's like when you paint a room, you paint from the farthest corner back towards the door. Everyone knows that.
Is that right?
Yeah. That way you don't paint yourself into a corner.
Okay.
Come on, you got that. Yeah. So first day, Tundavala Gap. We're checking out some natural views. You know me, I like to hike. I like to.
You're a big hiker.
Big hiker. So we're gonna take a look at the Baye Plateau, and we're gonna see what we can see. And then I'm thinking, one thing that I've always wanted to do is go on an African safari. And Angola has the perfect place for this. The Kisama National Park is within reach of Luanda. And when you go on these safaris, they typically take you out, you're in a Jeep or something like that. Right. And you see these animals, you take funny family photos. Giraffe sticks its tongue out at you. Giraffe's tongue, blue, everybody laughs.
Sometimes an animal attacks the Jeep and everyone gets a little freaked out.
Hopefully no animal attacks the Jeep. My bet would be hippopotamus.
Is it hippopotami?
No, it's not. Is it?
I don't know.
Sounds
like it could be, though,
I know
right?
They're pretty aggressive. They have big tusks. Avoid the hippopotami if that's what it is. Otherwise, avoid the hippopotamus.
It sounds right. I don't know.
So first day, we're going out. We're checking out the Baye Plateau, and we're looking off the cliffs, checking out some natural sights over the lowland of Angola. And then second day, we're going to Kisama National Park, perhaps seeing some endangered African species. Out on a safari. Sounds like a good time. Yeah, take lots of photos. Really enjoy parts of the world.
You've got me hooked so far.
Well, 2 more days. You just wait. And then, so after the safari, we're going to head west. We're heading to the coast.
Okay.
I don't know if this is considered part of the Gold Coast of Africa, but we're heading.
I think it's way more southern than the Gold Coast.
Oh yeah, Gold Coast is up by Cape Verde, right? Cape Verde Islands, like that, or that area, right?
Yeah, more in Sierra Leone, Ivory Coast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, either way, one of the most well-known beaches in Angola, I'm going to try to pronounce this right, is Palmeirinhas Beach. It is 28 miles south of Luanda. And it is known for its fishing.
Okay.
So we're seeing the coast.
That makes sense.
We're going to go on a fishing trip. We went on safari. We saw the land animals. Animals. We're going to go out to the coast. We're going to see hopefully some whales. I know there's a lot of shark activity down off the southern tip of Africa. I don't know if that's the case in Angola. I'm hoping to see some sharks. But the big thing is we're fishing. We're doing sea fishing. We're catching the big fish. It's a great way to spend the day with your family. Hopefully the boat is in working order. I know you had some trouble with that earlier. We won't get into it. But so first day, we're on the plateau. catching the natural views. Second day, safari. Everybody has a good time. Hippopotamus tries to jump into the Jeep, and everybody gets away safely. We drive west. We're going fishing on the coast. We're enjoying the beaches. After the fishing trip, we're going north. Back towards the capital city of Luanda. And we're swimming at Santiago Beach. Again, we're just enjoying being outside. Yeah. This is Africa. It's the heart of the world. It's a beautiful place. We're enjoying it. Angola,
great natural resources.
And
back in the day.
That's right. And so I don't know about the nightlife, to be honest. I don't want to take in the nightlife. Africa is too beautiful, too naturally beautiful. We're skipping it.
You need to rest at night.
We're taking the time to rest. I don't want to load you up too much. I know a lot of these trips I try to pack in a lot, so we're just gonna.
Yeah, you gotta be ready. You gotta be ready for the nature during the day.
That's right.
Sleep at night.
But actually, we're gonna get away from the nature at the start of the fourth day. We're gonna explore some of the coastal forts of Angola.
Ooh, that's neat.
And this is perfect because this is near the capital of Luanda. There is Fort São Miguel, built in 1576 to protect the city. And it did serve as a slave depot. You can't ignore the past. It's unfortunate, but maybe you take the time to visit these historical sites and learn a little bit.
This was a Portuguese colony, right?
Yes. Angola, Portuguese colony. And this Fort São Miguel, now contains the Museum of the Armed Forces. So while you're there, take in some of the local culture and learn some history of Angola. And before we fly out after the fourth day, there's one last spot we're going to go to. We're going to check out the Calendula Waterfalls, excuse the pronunciation. It's one of the largest waterfalls by volume anywhere in Africa. It's in the northern part of the country above Luanda, and it is over 1,312 feet tall. Can you imagine that?
I cannot.
It looks over forested cliff tops. So picture this. You're with your family. You're checking out the waterfall. You're 1,300 feet above the ground below and overlooking forested cliff tops, so you see a jungle out in front of you. It's majestic. It's picturesque.
Be beautiful.
That's where you get the Christmas photo.
Or Hanukkah picture, holiday card.
Or Hanukkah picture, holiday card, whatever
card,
suits your fancy. Your secular December photo, if you will.
Yes.
Take the family there. Check out Calendula Falls. So that
sounds like a blast. I can't say I ever thought about going to Angola, but after that review,
I gotta be honest with you, I didn't know where Angola was until about 25 seconds ago.
Okay.
Well, maybe more than 25 seconds, but you get the idea. The review.
I thought you nailed it.
This is my first look, and I
think
want
it's
to
your
check
best
it
one
out.
yet.
I want to check it out. Angola, capital city of Luanda. Fly in, go on a safari, check out the waterfalls, do some fishing, enjoy the beaches, enjoy some history, and get your family out and have a good time. It's a beautiful summer. Go to Angola.
All right, Jeff. Thank you for taking us around the world. And now we are going to move into Hollywood for Dummies, which really has a mind of its own, this one.
Yeah, it gets out of control sometimes.
Hopefully we can read the captions correctly this week. Last week,
we got a little bit of criticism, and rightfully so, for not...
We struggled to read basic sentences.
Yeah, we read the captions and then immediately just went away from
what we read.
Forgot what we read, went away from the captions. So let's not do it this time, huh? So our first headline here... David Foster's daughter, 35 years old, refers to his new fiancée, Catherine McPhee, who's 34 years old, as Mommy. I'm assuming this is on social media because it is in close quotation marks, MOMM, triple Y.
Triple Ys, that's big. The triple Ys is big. Yeah, very playful, very energetic. It's not like melatonin, like, it kind of just...
She's showing some enthusiasm.
She's really showing a lot of enthusiasm.
But
she's
is
saying,
this
"Mommy,
weird?
What's up?"
That's what
she's
up?
saying.
She's acknowledging it. She's recognizing it. Is that weird? Daughter 1 year older than her new mom. Not physically possible.
Well, not.
She's a stepmom.
Stepmom, yes. Is
to
that
be
weird?
Engaged. They're engaged. It's a fiance situation.
Let's get this right.
Get it right. Does that weird you out?
Yes.
Why does she not just call her Catherine?
Is that weird? Yes. That's just very bizarre.
I don't know.
There's really no other words for it.
Like if my mom married a guy
Catherine McPhee, she's a actress, right?
I believe so, yes.
What is she in? That name is familiar.
You put me on the spot here. I have no idea. Definitely seen it.
Modern Family?
Maybe.
We're going to go with Modern Family.
It's a good show. I don't know any of the actors' names.
Yeah.
Probably maybe Catherine McPhee.
Yeah,
Let us know. We tend to get corrections, and we like that. So, is this strange? Yes. Yes, I think we're in agreement. 35-year-old calling a 34-year-old mommy, strange.
Very weird. Yeah. Her dad is a savage. That should also be said.
Or a pedophile, depending on the time in life. Roll this back like 20 years, and this guy's a real weirdo.
I didn't really think about it from that point of view. Yeah,
it doesn't. It changes when you get older.
He probably just has a lot of money. That's
probably what it is.
Yeah. So the second headline we have here is Boonk Gang rapper posts own sex tapes, gets banned from Instagram. So, Jeff, I have no idea what this is. You put this up here. What is going on here?
So, I don't know. I'm assuming Boonk Gang is either the group name or his rapper name. I don't know.
Got to be his rapper name, right?
That's
rapper.
Why would you call yourself Gang?
I don't.
Singular gang.
Big boy gang moves.
Has no friends, perhaps? I don't know. Rapper posts his own sex tapes, gets banned from Instagram. My question...
is this the Game? This sounds like something the Game would do. It's another rapper.
Maybe. My question, I'm assuming he must have a lot of Instagram followers.
Or
and
Ray
he
J.
wants Ray J. Yeah, well, that worked out well for Kim. He wants to get a lot of views on this. So my question, stroke of genius? Question mark? Perhaps put it on Instagram. You get banned, but everybody, he's a headline. We're talking about him. Yeah, we don't know who this guy is, but we're talking about him.
Any publicity is good publicity.
And then maybe put it on Pornhub or something like that, and make some money off of this.
I think it's a few strokes of genius here.
A few strokes. Wow, that's diabolical. What you just said there. I don't. Okay, but anyway, stroke of genius. This guy, free advertising for himself, risks his own account. Maybe some people didn't want to see that.
Yeah, he'll just create another Instagram, like different account. Like we have, the Chop podcast, which is one word on Instagram.
Nice plug. Nice.
we have a separate Instagram account, separate from ourselves.
We will not post sex tapes. You have our promise. Strictly just podcast updates and behind the scenes content.
And a few pictures from our studio.
Yeah. The studio got an upgrade. It got cleaned. Recently, so
that's
big times.
Yeah.
So
our third headline here is, speaking of Kim Kardashian, is Khloe Kardashian. She said to LeBron James, "Take Tristan with you."
And for those who don't have any background knowledge, LeBron James is a basketball player in the NBA. He's arguably the greatest in the world, arguably the greatest of all time. That's a huge argument we won't get into.
Well, he's definitely the greatest in the world right now. We'll say that.
Yes, yeah. I think we can agree on that. Sorry, Kevin. But LeBron James became a free agent, left Cleveland, his hometown. Well, Akron's his hometown, but close enough. To go to the Los Angeles Lakers. A lot of people hate the Lakers. A lot of history with that franchise. LeBron James goes to the Lakers so he can move his family to LA, enjoy the sunshine. And Tristan Thompson was his teammate in Cleveland, the Cavaliers. Tristan Thompson cheated on Khloe Kardashian.
Yes.
We
could say that.
As she gave birth.
Yeah, pretty much as she gave birth to his baby.
And she says, LeBron, take Tristan with you. Now,
so there's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
First of all, let's address the big elephant in the room. Tristan Thompson stinks.
Oh, yeah. Dude. I don't want him on my team.
Yeah, LeBron does not want to take Tristan Thompson with him if he has any hopes of actually winning a title. The guy can jump and rebound, but, he can't even make a layup. He's like 6'11".
He was okay at one point. I don't know.
We make as many layups as he makes, and
we don't make many.
And we don't make many. So that's the first thing. No, LeBron is not going to take Tristan with him because he stinks. Second thing is, what is going on with Khloe Kardashian and Tristan? Are they They're still together, though.
I guess.
Didn't she take him
for
back?
For the baby's sake, I guess?
Because she was at their... I do remember she was at their finals game. Sitting third row, looking good for the cameras.
So what I'm thinking when I see this headline is there are 2 layers to this. It could go either way, I think. Either she's saying, take Tristan with you because she wants Tristan to be on a good team and perhaps get a better contract in the future, which puts more money in her pocket. Or is it, take Tristan with you, I'm sick of this cheating jerk.
Or
get him out of here.
Or is it, take Tristan with you because I want to live in L.A.?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And I want my child to live. To grow up in LA.
Do they live out there anyway? I don't know where the Kardashians live.
But if Tristan decided to get a little serious and he's like, okay, maybe maybe I won't cheat for 5 seconds, and they start to raise a family, it'd be easier if they were living together. So maybe she's like, come live out in LA.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's the third option.
Three layers to this.
We don't really know. I have no idea what she meant by this.
I'm gonna go with, take Tristan with you. I want him to get a better contract. I think she's saying, bring him with you. You guys play well together, even though that's highly debatable. And make him more successful. I'm gonna go with the positive route here.
Yeah, because I don't think I don't think living in Hollywood could, lead to anything bad in terms of like cheating situations or anything. No. Never in the future.
Definitely not.
No. Okay. And that wraps up Hollywood for Dummies. I'm sure we got a lot wrong and we looked like idiots at times.
I thought we did pretty good on that one. I don't anticipate mistakes.
Yeah, probably not. I don't know.
Idiots, yeah, maybe.
I also thought Farrah Abraham was the Octomom, so Jeff had me going.
Yeah.
So Jeff, if you were president, what are you doing?
All right, so I think if I were president, and this is a weird one, so bear with me, but I thought about it earlier today, and I was like, you know what? I think that'd be pretty freaking awesome. Do you remember the show Wipeout?
Wipeout. Is that on ABC?
I think it was on ABC, yeah. It might still be, I don't know. It's the one where the people try to navigate the obstacle course, and everything's padded, and it's like over a big pool of water.
Yeah.
And they big mechanical arms come around and like knock them off platforms and stuff as they try to get to the final platform. And it's hilarious because they fall in funny ways, and it's just fun.
Right.
It's just fun to watch. Like, people go on, they act silly, they know they're going to be ridiculed, and that's what's fun about the show.
Yeah.
So if I'm president, I'm thinking about everyday happiness. I am creating a national holiday, executive order, because I'll be honest, I don't know the process for making a national holiday. I would imagine that it probably has to go through Congress and the House and the Senate and all that. So
I'm not sure the national holiday procedure.
Let's just say I'm signing an executive order. I am making a national holiday where we have a Wipeout style battle royale. I'm thinking like the Roman Colosseum, but instead of hard stone and marble, it's all Wipeout.
Are we doing by state, and then each state has a representative, and then they go to the...
And then they go to the nationals. Yeah.
And then they go to and you go and you cheer for the person.
And the national holiday it's like the Super Bowl essentially, but it's Wipeout.
Oh.
And so they're in a gigantic arena, and there's platforms and all this stuff. And the goal is be the last one standing. So you have, I'm thinking maybe like pool noodles, and you're trying to knock the other people off. Or maybe, have you ever seen like that padded jousting where they have it looks like a big Q-tip.
This is an absolutely wild idea. I don't know how
I'm thinking.
I don't know, how did you think of this? Like, the fact that this came up just like in everyday thinking is outrageous.
My mind is a weird place. I don't know.
But sorry to cut in, but this actually just reminded me of something this is a complete tangent, but I would feel bad if I didn't mention this. I would bring back the Most Extreme Elimination Challenge. Now, do you remember that, Jeff? That was a show that was on.
Awesome.
It was on Spike TV, I believe.
Yeah,
and it was it Japanese, or was it?
I think it was.
Or was it?
If I'm thinking of the right one,
it was either Japanese or Chinese.
That's like the one where they had to like run up the hill.
Yeah, definitely Asian. And I went back and I watched a few episodes about a year ago, and it is unbelievable how ridiculous and inappropriate that show was.
Oh my gosh,
that
yeah.
was on television. I remember watching that when I was like 8 years old. I would get all excited. I'd be like, oh, Most Extreme Elimination Challenge is on tonight. And I went back and watched that, and I was appalled at the inappropriateness of that show. I cannot believe that my parents let me watch that. And I would encourage our listeners to go back and watch that show if you have nothing to do and you kind of just want to kill some time, because it is just pure entertainment, and it is you will get a bunch of laughs.
Yeah,
it's really
show's phenomenal.
It was phenomenal.
So if you're president, you contact the network. It's like presidential power type of deal.
Yeah, I want that. I want that prime time. Let's go Spike TV. Let's give them their credit. I want that prime time on. Let's go Monday nights.
Monday nights.
Yeah, let's go Monday nights. You get through your Monday looking forward to Most Extreme Elimination Challenge, and we'll get an hour of that episode.
Oh my god!
Those episodes.
Yeah, because they were short, right?
Yeah, they were short. They're about a half an hour. We'll do 2 episodes, 8 to 9 Monday nights.
Make it happen. Contact the network.
The show is unbelievable.
Frankie's president. Most Extreme Elimination Challenge. We went really pleasing the viewers today.
Yeah, we took over the television. You're gonna want to go back and watch that when you got some free time. And so to move on to our final segment of today's show, we have the World Cup update. And yes, the World Cup, we're approaching the quarterfinals, and I cannot be more excited. It's really shaping into a great last 8. My English are still alive after a thrilling victory over Colombia.
That was awesome.
A few days ago.
They finally did it.
Finally won a penalty shootout. Couldn't be more proud of the boys. Yeah, that's right. I'm hopping on the English bandwagon. And here we go with the World Cup update. Number 1, Mbappe is pretty fast. Harry Kane is the walking definition of clinical. Luis Suarez is almost as soft as Neymar. Russians can park a bus.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy, can they park a bus. And I know I just went out of order there. That's because my Russia was not finished, and I had to think about what I had wrote before. And the 5th thing, getting back to Neymar is an absolute fraud. And I just want to talk a tiny bit about him. Nothing makes me more upset than watching Neymar get fouled and then roll on the ground for 20 minutes. Like, I've never seen anything like it, Jeff. I know you've seen a few of the videos. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, so I think I was actually supposed to post a clip on Instagram.
Yeah, you were.
It turns out I messed that up. It's hard to find these clips, but while I was looking for one to post, I saw some of these videos, and it's just insane. I mean, the guy, he'll roll over like 10 times after getting like kicked in the back of the heel. Like, it's nuts.
And then he gets up and he just runs. And then he's playing.
Oh yeah, nothing's wrong.
20 seconds later, and people wonder why some people in the United States don't like soccer. Because they go from watching American football to watching Neymar just keep rolling and rolling and rolling. The other day he did a headstand.
I'm surprised he hasn't rolled out of the stadium at this point, to be honest. Just roll right down the tunnel and back.
Yeah, I mean, that headstand he did the other day was impressive, actually.
I didn't see that one.
Corkscrewed himself into the ground and recoiled his body.
Oh my gosh!
And that was something else. And he should be absolutely embarrassed. It's pathetic.
If you're Brazilian, how do you feel about this?
I cannot wait to watch them go out to Belgium tomorrow. I think Belgium's going to handle. I hope someone for Belgium goes in a little late, studs up, and actually takes him out so we can see him rolling, and maybe he won't get up 5 seconds later. Because, I mean, it's an absolute travesty what he's doing. And the last thing on Neymar is everyone wants to talk about Neymar in the same breath as Messi and Ronaldo. Neymar is not even the best player on Brazil. I mean, think about being in the same breath as those people. You would think you'd at least be the best player on your team.
Yeah.
He's not even the best player. Coutinho is the best player. It's really not close. And Neymar, if he passed the ball a little bit, just a little bit, maybe he wouldn't get fouled 20 times a game. He just keeps dribbling and dribbling and dribbling. And, he gets every foul call, and it'd be pretty easy for us to play any sport, Jeff, if no one could defend us.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be awesome.
I mean, think about how good we would be in basketball if there was no defense ever played on us.
I don't know how good I'd be. I still miss a lot.
I mean, we'd miss a lot of layups, so we would just get our own rebound and then lay it back up.
That's right.
So that's my World Cup update. Hopefully England wins this weekend, and so we can see them in a big-time semifinal match.
I'm pulling for them, Frank, just for you. England, they looked good. They're making history, and they're just doing a good job, and we hope that they go as far as possible. You're an England fan. You've been an England fan for a long time. England winning the World Cup this year, perhaps? Question mark?
I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility at this point.
Well, all right.
There's only 3 more games to win.
That's true.
And with that wraps up our 4th episode.
Yeah, you've been listening to episode 4 of Choppin' It Up, and I just want to remind the people, don't forget to message us on Instagram or email us at choppodcast@gmail.com. Submit your Chop Move stories. We need them. We need to say them on the air. We want to give you a shout out. And, if you do a big enough chop move or you witness a chop move, you might just win Chop of the Week. So thanks for listening. Frankie, anything else to say?
I got nothing. We'll see everyone next week.